Hello? Hi everyone. Today we're going to continue with a course on H3A storage. In the last class, we introduced two special types of storage, Blu-ray storage and gold nanoglass. These two types of storage can actually be considered as new storage technologies. Of course, it will take some time to develop and popularize these technologies. So, mechanical disks still have some room to survive for now. Once these emerging technologies are fully developed, with no technical bottlenecks and lower costs, mechanical disks will basically be phased out because, well, the advantage of mechanical disks right now is that they are cheap. And it has a large storage capacity. Maybe the storage time will be a problem. It's only about 10 years. So we will have to wait for these in the future. There's no problem with the development of our Blu-ray storage and gold nanoglass. After that, mechanical disks will gradually fade out of our field of vision. Next, we will introduce several special storages. The first one is DNA storage. It actually uses human DNA to store data. You heard that right. Basically, it uses synthetic DNA to encode data, converting our binary data of zeros and ones into the four bases of DNA: A, T, C, and G. This is the main method of DNA storage, where data is written into the DNA chain through synthetic techniques. Its advantages are extremely significant. It's small in size, has a high density, and is very stable. Specifically, just 1 gram of DNA can store 215 PB of data, which is equivalent to millions of hard drives. Millions of hard drives. Secondly, the density is huge. It's 1,000,000 times that of flash storage. It's 1,000,000 times denser than flash storage, and its stability is extremely strong. As long as it's freeze-dried, it can be preserved for thousands of years. For our regular mechanical disks, they last about a decade or so, while this can last for thousands of years. So this technology is still not mature. Because, as you can imagine, DNA is quite a complex subject. Right? Well, right now, actually. We can't say that humanity has completely and fully understood DNA. That's not quite accurate. So here, actually, it's relatively expensive. Of course, as technology develops, the price will definitely come down. That's for sure. All high-tech innovations tend to be quite pricey when they first emerge, because it's quite difficult to implement, but as time goes on, once these technical challenges are overcome, the prices will definitely come down. For now, it's good for everyone to just understand this, because we can't possibly use this. And why is that? Because its cost is extremely high. How high is it? Even 1 G of data would cost tens of thousands of dollars. You heard that right. 1 G of data costs tens of thousands of dollars. And we have a hard drive that costs a few $100. So it can store several terabytes of data. In terms of cost effectiveness, it's really poor. The cost effectiveness is too low. So for now, this type of storage can't be widely adopted, at least not in the short term. Secondly, the reading efficiency is quite low. Its main advantage lies in storage. It can store a lot of content, but the reading efficiency is very low. It's just because it's so small. You can imagine, right? In just 1 gram, it holds 215 PB of data. Right? You can't actually see it with the naked eye, right? You really can't see it. So the data reading efficiency here is quite low. It's relatively low. Only after the cost of this technology comes down will this storage truly be usable. Of course, in terms of usage, it generally won't be directly applied in our IT field. Typically, it's mainly used in research institutions for DNA storage. The protection of cultural heritage, space missions, and so on. This is our first special storage, which is DNA storage. The second one, let's look at atomic storage. If it's atomic storage, it's like this. It was proposed by a physicist. He said that if atoms can be arranged, if they can be ordered, then it's actually possible to store information using atoms, because atoms are very small. The size of an atom is indeed very tiny. Moreover, the volume capacity of atomic storage will be greater than that of existing media. It will indeed be larger. Here, it seems like storing 1 bit of data per atom doesn't sound like much, right? Compared to DNA storage, we talked about earlier, it really isn't a lot. However, one atom can store one piece of information. Bits. We can store in just 1 square centimeter of space a PB of data or several PB of data. It is true that this is not as big as DNA as a whole, but it is actually very, very large, equivalent to 1 square centimeter. If it can store several PB of data, it is already tens of millions times that of ordinary solid-state drives, and the lifespan is, theoretically, infinite. Why is it infinite? Because the structure of atoms is very stable. It won't wear out. It won't wear out. You know, this is different from DNA and other things. You said that DNA will wear out over time. Including mechanical hard drives and solid-state drives will actually wear out, but our atoms, the atom is basically the smallest unit. So here, it is actually one of them. The structure is extremely stable, and it basically won't experience any physical wear and tear. Of course, this atomic storage requires what? It needs ultra-low temperatures, close to absolute zero, and it also needs a vacuum environment. It is still not commercially available at present. Because of this. The requirements are too strict. But its characteristic is that, and DNA, it's the opposite. Its main drawback is that writing is slow. On the DNA side, reading is relatively slow. But here, writing is the slow part, because arranging the atoms takes a lot of time. Writing data can take several days. So, for now, it's actually not commercially viable. In the future, where could it be used? Well, it could be used for storing confidential data. It can definitely be used for that, but for commercial use, it's basically impossible without a few decades. And finally, let's take a look at quantum storage. As for quantum storage, its full name can be called optical quantum, or photons. It mainly uses photons to replace electrons for transmitting information. By using quantum states to encode data, it can achieve light speed reading and writing. And theoretically, it also has an infinite lifespan. How fast can it go? It's the speed of light. It's because it's optical quantum, so we can achieve speeds at the speed of light. The storage efficiency is extremely high, really very high. So, in this case, our quantum storage is actually a trend for future development. Currently, it is. Quantum storage is susceptible to some noise interference. It's easily affected by noise. The environmental restrictions are also quite strict. It currently still requires absolute zero, which means it's difficult to operate at room temperature. So right now, when we at Huawei collaborate with the scientific community, what can we achieve in experiments? Room temperature quantum storage? The storage efficiency can be improved to 70%, but there's still some distance to go before it can be commercially used. But compared to the first two, it's relatively faster. A bit faster. The future of quantum storage mainly aims to support the quantum internet and achieve instantaneous global data synchronization and absolutely secure transmission. This is a development trend for our quantum storage in the future. Because its transmission speed can reach the speed of light, it can achieve instantaneous data synchronization across the entire world, and it can also ensure secure transmission. An absolutely secure transmission. This is our future. There are 3 different forms of storage. The first 2 still have some distance to go, but this chain storage is something we at Huawei are already working on. We've made some progress already. I believe that within the next 10 to 20 years, we should be able to achieve the use of quantum storage, right? As long as it can be commercially viable at a preliminary level, it would be a huge help for our overall storage. Why do I say that? Because the main issue with storage right now still lies in what? If we want to achieve a large capacity, we still need a large number of clusters and a large number of physical devices to support it. So, in this regard, and in terms of speed, there are actually some limitations. But if these can be achieved in the future, well, the faster they can be achieved, the better it will be for us. The greater the help for storage, the better. Alright, that's it for today's content. If anyone wants to learn about Huawei's cognitive technology or wants to get Huawei's certification question bank, please send me a private message, or you can leave a comment below the video for technical exchanges. Okay, that's it for today, everyone. Bye.